My mom and I were on our way home last night when we heard on the radio that the three supercells that were coming towards us were not making much progress because they were all fighting against each other, which I thought was hilarious. It was like the Three Stooges had become gods and they were fighting in the sky and the entire sky was going whoop, 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 whoop. But nobody seemed to find that as funny as I did. So we make it home and I'm hobbling into the house as fast as I can on my broken foot, and my sister is there watching the weather on the news with a bicycle helmet on and a tornado safety kit, and my brother next to her is as nonchalant as he can be, playing on the DS. And I was like, pretty much what I expected, but I'm wearing a really uncomfortable shirt, so I run upstairs and I change shirts, and I don't even have time to finish it before the tornado sirens turn on. So I was like, this is fun. Now I get to go down over 2 flights of stairs into the cellar. So I go into the cellar, and it's not long before the power goes out. It's like, oh great, now we're in pitch black, and Kira's not going to shush it. So I'm texting Dad, because he's in Texas, so he still has power, and he's going to tell us when it's safe to come out. And he's telling us where the tornadoes are and what they're doing and where they're heading. And it's really hard to tell if the tornadoes are just moving really fast or if there's just a bunch of them. Turns out the answer is yes to both. And that they're just bumping down and they're hopping up quicker than they can keep track of them. So it's hard to kind of tell, but it's obvious that they're close, which is not something that happens to us often. So I'm like, I usually don't get nervous during these things, but I'm getting a little bit nervous. So at one point we had 6 of our neighbors in the cellar with us. And one of the ladies says, is this place safe, or is it going to be okay if anything actually hits? And my uncle, who was one of the neighbors, and actually used to live in this house, said, oh yes, we're safe. This is the safest you can get. This is a nuclear fallout shelter. It can take a tornado. Nuclear fallout shelter? What? We have a nuclear fallout shelter underneath our house? I mean, I knew it was deep. He says, oh yeah, this thing predates that basement. This thing predates this house. This thing predates this entire farm. And it's like, interesting. And then everybody began inspecting the quality of our nuclear fallout shelter, which apparently we have, and I thought was interesting. But there is water on the floor, and people are commenting. It's like, do you have a broken pipe? What's going on here? And my mom's like, yeah, we have a sub pump. My phone's going up. We have a sub pump usually because the water table in Oklahoma is really high, and basements and cellars do like to become wells. But for whatever reason, we have about this much water, and it's growing, which is a bit concerning, but you know. So, when things are dying down and it's not too bad, people are going up and they're watching the weather, and I peek out a little bit, and the sky is a lovely shade of green. That's not a good shade, but I go back down, and my cousin is chatting his head off because I'm not answering the phone right now, Dad, I'll be right out. Anyways, because he's nervous, and to help his nervousness, the water begins gushing out of the walls. Gushing, I'm not kidding you. It's like a water hose. To which he goes, did a pipe break? I'm like, I don't know. And it's just, this is what happens when there's too much water in the ground and it's clay. It finds the path of least resistance, and when it finds a nice, lovely cellar or basement, it gushes out of the walls. So I'm in this flooding cellar, and I'm like, nervousness. But calm your nerves, people. It turned out alright. I'm filming right now. So, what time is it? It is 4 minutes, 33 seconds. Okay, I'm over. I'm winning.